What's up, everyone? This is Itachi again from Axie. Today, we're gonna talk about breeding. So far, we got here two aquas that I want to breed and another two plant that I want to breed. Because from the previous breeding cycle, most of them have a lower purity. So ideally, what I want when I breed are between 96 or 95 to 99%. The only reason I go with 90 to 95 is if they have the recessives that I want. So for today, we want to have a total of 4 plant axes and a total of 8 aquas. Therefore, I can give it to 4 teams after I breed them. So this is my best cost or the most cost-effective method on increasing my scholars. Those will be 4 AAP teams. So alright, now we have to search the marketplace to find the perfect hairs for this axis. So let's start with the plant axis. So the reason that I've sold the rest of the plant axis is because I only wanted to keep these two because from the previous breeding, we were able to get like a bug hybrids that will sell more. That's why I already sold them and we will again proceed with just breeding the pure ones and hopefully we can get the recessives that may be good. So let's start with this standard build. So for this standard build, we have the pumpkin, cactus, cereus, and carrot, pretty much meta. And well, this is not the best plant frontline, but this is the most common one. Therefore, it's the cheapest one as well. So if we're gonna look at the marketplace, cereus, cactus, pumpkin, and carrot. So this is what we are looking for. So if we're gonna look at it, the floor price right now is 0.095 at, or that's equivalent to $307. So what if we gain impurities from our breeding? So that's why we have to pick our recessives. For the horn part, what recessives I want to look for is lip bug. So for example, if we were able to get a lip bug as an offspring, so you can see here, from the floor price of 0.095, it became 0.116. So we're gonna profit from that. So imagine breeding pure ones and the impurities are like this, the good hybrid ones. This is our goal when we are breeding. Then another possible impurity that we can have, for example, we still have cactus. So instead of serious, we can have something like cute bunny. So let's see the floor price here. So the reason the floor price here is lower is just because the tail is carrot. But this is a decent impurity for a plant. Because a cute bunny plant, it can work well with the cute bunny comb synergy. So okay, for now, with that in mind, let's try to look for the best option for us in the marketplace. Alright, after browsing about 15 pages of this same build, we were able to find our desired plant. So let's start with just this one. This is a 99% for 0.14N. So you must be fascinated by the number of purity, which is 99%. By the way, in order to view these purities here and the genes for each of these axes, I use Frick's Axis extension. So you can just download it as a Chrome extension. This is the name, Frick's Axis extension. And I'm just gonna link it down below. Again, if we're gonna look at this, it must look good because it's 99%. But if you're gonna look carefully, you can see on its mouth part, there's a recessive one, which is called the silence whisper. And trust me, we don't want to touch that one. So there's a high chance that our offspring from this parent will have a result of that. So I'm not gonna buy this one, even if it's the cheapest 99% in the market. Now, the next thing that I found is this 0.132. So if you're gonna look at this, it's just 96% because there's an impurity in the recessive one and there's another impurity in the recessive two. So why will I buy this if it's just 96%? Why will I pair it with my 99%? If you're gonna look at the cards are all pure. Starting from the mouth, it's a printer of Sirius. For the horn, cactus and beech are they are good either way. Then pumpkin is an S tier card. And if you're gonna look at the tail, there's a recessive one for hotbot. And we know hotbot is much better than carrot. So if we're gonna look at floor price again, the floor price for carrot is 0.101. Let's see if we can change it to hotbot. So if we were able to have a hotbot instead of carrot as an offspring, you can see that we notch the price or the floor price of that Axie by 0.015. And that's a huge gain for us. So it's really important to look for these good recessives. So that's a good one. So 96% with perfect cards. Then the next one is this. This is a 98%. So again, if we're gonna look at the move set, if we get serious cactus, then watering can, then hotbot, again, that will be a much higher price point for a plant. Then the only problem here is we have here this watermelon. This can be a problem, but I'm willing to risk it because we also have these caterpillars. It's totally not bad to get that as for our offspring. And besides, this is 98%. And the only demerit is this watermelon. But overall, this is a good one. So that's it for our plant, guys. We were able to find 2. Now we have 4 plants. So we're just gonna name them like a lily. And maybe the other one is Lisa. I use this naming system because they start with the same letter. That means they are siblings. Though these 2 are not siblings, but we know that we're just gonna pair them with each other. So it's like Darren and Lily, then Dante and Lisa. So there you go. So that's done deal for our plant part. Then about the possible gains on breeding these Axies, on how many counts should we breed them. So with the recent market and using Lamb's data, you can check Lamb from Discord, is Smooth Love Potion. So you can see that the breeding cost for breeding 4 is just $800. And again, if we're gonna look at the floor price from carrot, let's say we just got 1 impurity. So we got here $300. So let's just say we managed to get 3 pures, and let's say we got the minimum purity percent, like 90%, around that range. We can still able to break even. So $300 times 3, that's $900. Then the additional Axie is like a bonus from breeding. So this is still profitable, and even better if we were able to get the more expensive recessives from choosing our plant, then we will have more profit. For the next stage, we can just continue the same size cycle. Now we're done with the plant. Let's move on finding the aquas. So I mentioned I need 8 aquas, and I already have 2. Take note, these 2 aquas have tail as nimo. So we will find 2 nemos, then the other 4 aquas should be a tail of koi, because we're running the standard AAP pure build. So if you want to watch the analysis for AAP pure build, you can also check the link below for the build analysis of AAP pure, which I distribute to my scholars. Now for the aqua part, what do we look for the recessives? We look for the recessives of bug or beast cards. So if you're gonna look at this one, we have here on the horn part, pliers as a recessive. So again, why do we want to look for those recessives? Because if we're gonna compare them to standard builds, so we got here Nemo, Risky Fish, then we got here Shoal Star and Goldfish, right? So the floor price for this moveset, pure moveset, is 0.111 ETH or $359. So what will happen if instead of Shoal Star, we got that impurity of pliers? So from 0.111 ETH, we managed to up the price to 0.143 ETH. And what's even better, we can also look for a recessive of Pocky. Because how much will this be? With the Pocky as recessive, from 0.111 ETH floor, if we were able to get that recessive for our impurities, we can have a 0.203 selling price. So we always want to check for those recessives because we can always be lucky with those recessives. Instead of being unlucky and getting impurities, Instead, we will be lucky because we're gonna get those impurities. So another good one to look for is dual blade. So look at this price point, guys. So the standard Nemo Risky Fish dual blade is a very viable top midline that's constantly being used in tournaments and in the top 100. So now let's look for. We have tons of pages to look for two Nemo aquas. All right, after about 13 pages of browsing for these Nemo aquas, we were able to get our two aquas. But let's look for our candidates first. So the first candidate is this. The reason this is a candidate because of that cute bunny. Cute bunny and an aqua is actually good if we can synergize it with the whole team. The only problem here is that swallow. We can't get much value of that if we're gonna have all damage cards. So it's better to have koi with the zero cost card on the back line. So that's the only problem here. So we won't end up getting that. The next candidate is this. So why is this candidate? Because if you're gonna look at those impurities, this will be a great break wall potential. So you got the sponge and caterpillar. So sponge has 80 depth, caterpillar has 50 depth. And it will also deal decent damage against plants and reptile if we're gonna pair it with risky fish. But we will also not get this because I ended up finding two other great ones. If you're gonna look at the price, yes, they are pricier, but for the exchange of 0.02 and 0.03, these parents can pay off. Because for the first one, we got here, it's almost a printer one. What are the only impurities here? For the horn part, the recessive one is Oranda. Oranda is actually much better than Shoalstar. Oranda is more viable on pure aquas because it has higher depth and higher damage on aquas. Then we also have Pliers and Scarab. These two bug cards will deal you great damage as a midliner too if you're able to get them. So if you manage to get these impurities, you won't be sad at all because in turn they will be more expensive than the standard build. We want to buy these impurities, with this aquas, with this recessive, so we got more guarantee when it comes to getting impurities. Then the next one is, so again a bit pricier, is we got here the Arco and Risky Fish combo. So if we got here the Nemo Risky Fish Arco and Risk, and well, let's say Nemo Risky Fish Arco and Goldfish, that's like a very fast aqua with hybrid damage, better for against plant counterpart and reptile. And if we also manage to snatch that risky fish, then this is a very high dealing damage aqua that you can prepare or you can anticipate the next round by using Arco. So we're definitely gonna win with these impurities on our Nemos. Okay, now we're done with our Nemo aquas. We just need the last four aquas, which are the four. We want the four koi aquas. So we're just gonna change the tail and we're gonna look for koi. Alright, so when it comes to the koi, the floor price is 0.093. And now, what impurities should we look for this kind of build? So we can look for the impurities in the horn part. Let's set this to NN first. So instead of Shoalstar, we can look for Cuckoo. Let's say we were able to get this Cuckoo. So if you're gonna look at the floor price of the koi one without the Cuckoo is 0.093. Just add that single horn card, you will see the price increase of 0.03. So these are the impurities that can give us more profit. So rather than being sad because of the impurities, we want to be happy in case we get these impurities as a backup. So that's what we are looking for. So one more possible, let's say we still got here the Shoalstar. So for the back part, instead of Goldfish, since we're gonna use this for backline, it's better to have a zero cost impurity. So instead of Goldfish, we can have Bidens or Mint. Bidens is more expensive. So if you're gonna look at this, the floor price is 0.1. But make it 5 out of 6. The floor price again is 0.12. So you can see we can get much more value with this kind of recessives if we can find them with the list of these aquas. Now it's time for us to search for those. So alternative for Bidens is Mint. Now let's look for these good recessives, koi aquas. So we're gonna find 4 aquas. Okay, it took us quite more time looking for the koi aqua because we don't have much of a choice here. So after 16 pages, I managed to get my 4 aquas. So let's look at the single candidate here. So if you're gonna look at this as Cuckoo and Razorback as a backline, it's totally not bad at all. I will actually get this one. I'm still thinking because the only problem here is what if we get Cuckoo and Hero? That's the only problem that I can see here. But if we can get like Koi, Goldfish, Star Razor Bite, we don't have much value. I mean, ideally, that's a good backline against counterpart Aquas because you still have the Goldfish and you have a defensive mechanism of Razor Bite, so you can survive the next round. But I'm not sure about the market price for that. If we're gonna change Risky Fish of Razor Bite, let's see. Yeah, it might look good on paper, but it's not really worth it to have that. The only worth it part here is the cocoa, and it's just too much risk to just buy this a lower purity one. This is just like 94, 91%. And I always go for 96 to 99% because the probabilities on breeding those to get pures are much better. So the first one is this. So the only problem here is the recessive. So the recessive here is on the ears part, which has a bug part, which is a very slow recessive. But for its price point, and among browsing all of those 16 pages, this is the cheapest one that you can have that has the perfect cards. What do you mean by the perfect cards? If you're gonna look at the Risky Fish, Star Goldfish, Koi genes, they are all perfect from dominant recessive 1 to recessive 2. Even if we get this, at least we are sure that we can get the perfect parts here. And I'm gonna pair that with this one. This is the cheapest 99%, and that 1% came from the phosphite on R2, which is, if we're gonna talk about the cheapest 99%, it's not the end of the world if we get that phosphite because if we're just gonna breed this two, there's still a higher chance to just get a pure one. Okay, so the next pair will be this guy. So again, same concept, almost perfect cards on Risky Official Star Goldfish Koi. I'm gonna pair it with this 97%. Guess what? Instead of having Kuko or Biden's, we have another alternative. So it's a balloon one. So it's still a zero cost card, which will make it effective on the backline. And again, you still have Koi to prepare you to attack on the first round. Then you can utilize the balloon part to survive the next round. Getting that balloon as an impurity won't be bad at all. And if we're gonna look at the market price, I'm just not sure of that market. So instead of having goldfish, we will have a balloon. Let's just check that. So you can see we can still sell it for a decent price because it's still a zero cost card. Yeah. So getting those impurities won't be bad at all for us. So now we're complete for this breeding cycle. We now have 8 aquas and 4 plants. Now we are ready to breed them. That's it for now. I'll see you in 5 days and let's see the result from the shopping from the marketplace of these aquas, and hopefully let's calculate in next 5 days how much can we earn from this. So I'm gonna start breeding them now and I will see you in 5 days. Oh wait, we're still here guys, and I had a change of outfit. Well, of course, I'm not gonna let you wait for 5 days. So we're gonna be morphing all our eggs and we will discuss the results as well. So let's see. Again, we have 4 pairs of aquas and 2 pairs of plants, and we bred them all 4 times. That's why we have a total of 24 eggs. And as you can see, our floor price, they are all down by about $50. But we will see what will be our result from morphing them all. So let's start morphing them. Okay, we have here a very interesting batch. So from the koi batch here, we can see that we have all the cards here. But unfortunately, these two aren't pure. So from their usual floor price, we can only just sell these two for $180 each. So I think this batch of 4 here is like the least one with the profit. And if we're gonna look at our Nemo Aquas, this is actually my best batch because they're all in 95, 99, 97, and 97. They are all in high purity and they are all pure. So as you can see here, they have a huge selling price. Then for this batch of Nemos here, we have this unfortunate impurity, the gerbil. After all, we can have all the perfect recessives, but as we said from earlier, we have the impurity that we kind of want. And not just kind of want, but we have this impurity that will make the value of this aqua much more expensive. So this one, we got the hybrid of getting the pliers, so we can sell this aqua here. Take note, this is just the floor price at $500. Then looking at our plants, they are all very interesting. But the thing here is, among plants and aquas, plants are still more expensive. So you can see our prices here are actually decent enough. So our best plant will be this 98%. Though we have the hot bot one, but unfortunately, we got a bug eye here. Then here, this is a good 97%, but unfortunately, we got the watermelon. But overall, we can still sell this all in a decent price. But we know that, of course, I'm gonna breed them all. But yeah, so assuming we have to sell them all in the marketplace, so adding all these selling values, we will have a total of $7,160. And of course, we have to consider the market fee, right? So we have to subtract for 4.25% from it. So we will have a total of $6,860. Now, we have to factor in the breeding cost. So overall, we have 6 pairs of, not just aqua, 6 pairs of axis here. So that's 6 times $800 for the breeding cost. So that's $4,800. So $6,860 minus $4,800. We still profit for about $2,000 here just from breeding like 6 pairs of axis. So overall, even if it's a bear market, we're still able to make some profit. So because we were smart about picking our parents, so even if we have these impurities here, they are not that bad. So actually, we actually pick a better parents for the aquas. But yeah, we can just continue the process again. Then for another 5 days, $2,000. Considering that you have the resources to breed 6 pairs of axis, then $2,000 every 5 days on the bear market is totally not bad at all. And what can we expect? What if it's a bull market? Then, like, the prices of axes are increasing. Then you can just imagine that we can profit some more from breeding. So overall, breeding is still profitable. But the only downside here is it's not that worth it if you're just a retail breeder, meaning you are just breeding like a small, like maybe just 2 pairs of Axie at a time, it might have a huge risk for you. But if you follow or choosing the parents technique here from this video, I think you can still profit for about so if we're gonna divide 2,000 by 6, so you can still profit from $300 from breeding 2 axes. And I hope you learn a lot from this video and about breeding. And I'll see you next time for our next content. Thank you for watching.